we are going to see Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's
Good morning and welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamara Jordan, Tammy Turns Pages, and I am so glad that you are here and that you decided to turn pages with me today. Today is gonna be a little bit different. I am gonna be reading some books, but I'm sick, and this morning I woke up with a really sore throat. So I thought this is a really good time to, excuse me, a really good time to just sit and read and relax and try to rest and get back to baseline. So I have a few books that I'm going to try and read this weekend. Well, not all this weekend because some of them are long, but throughout the week. So this weekend and then throughout the week. And they're right here. I have Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors, Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings, and Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I'm just trying to not feel, like crap. And so I thought I would read some books that would hopefully make me feel something other than the way I'm feeling right now. These are three very anticipated reads for me, so I'm really excited to read these. You will have seen too in one of my last videos that the Cat Chooses My Reads video, I tried to have them pick Time of Your Life, and they didn't do that. So I want to put it in this one. I think I'm going to start with Blue Sisters, and we'll go from there. So sit back, relax, enjoy, get some cozy tea or coffee or chai, and yeah, just spend a couple days with me. I will be mostly parked on this couch, and that's where I'm gonna stay. So this might not be that exciting of a vlog, but it's definitely just gonna be me reading. It is a few hours later. Sorry. It's a few hours later, and I wanted to just give you a little bit of an update on where I'm at in Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors. I was able to get to chapter 7, which is page 148. Yeah, 148. And I just wanted to tell you what I think so far. So this follows our three main characters, Avery, Lucky, and Bonnie. Avery is the oldest daughter. She is an addict, and she is in recovery. She's a lawyer. She's married to her wife. I think her name is Chinty, I think maybe. And they are kind of both struggling. Well, everyone is struggling with the death of the fourth sister. Her name was Nikki. But it's basically told in, like I said, those three parts. In Avery's part, in Bonnie's part, Bonnie is was kind of like a semi-pro boxer. She's also struggling with the death of her sister Nikki. And then there's Lucky, who is the youngest sister, and she was born after Nikki, and she is a model, a supermodel, and is struggling with the death of her sister, but also I would say an eating disorder, and I would also say a substance abuse issue. So they're all in their own way struggling to figure out how to deal with the death of their sister that happened last July. They're going back to their I guess childhood home in New York, because they're all in different locations. One of them is in London, one of them is in California, so they're all in different areas, and they come back to New York to try to stop the sale of this house. So that's where I'm at. This is so far very sad. It's very good. They're all dealing with a lot of trauma, and grief is the biggest part of this book, and how each character is dealing with it differently or not dealing with it. So but I am enjoying this so far, and I will let you know. I'm hoping to get to at least page like 200 today, 225 today, something like that, and then I'll only have like 100 pages left for tomorrow. So I'll let you know where I get probably tomorrow morning. I don't feel great. I'm not feeling good, so I'm just gonna try to rest, and I will pick back up with you tomorrow. Good morning. I wanted to just give you an update on where I was at in Blue Sisters by Coco Mellers. So basically all day yesterday I read this book, and then last night as well, and a little bit into this morning. I have just about this much left. It's about 60 pages. I'm on chapter 11, which is Bonnie's chapter, page 263. I'm still really, really enjoying this book. It helped me yesterday just like feel a little bit, I mean, not better, but like get my mind off being sick. But yeah, we're pretty much in a deep dive at this point, following all the sisters. From where I was before, we're getting to understand their motivations a bit more, what they're dealing with and what they're struggling with. There's still a lot of trauma in this book. Their relationships are very strained due to all of the trauma that losing their sister has caused, but also the grief and grieving process and how it's affecting each other and themselves. This is a very intense book. Some of the things that some of these characters are dealing with are really, really intense. So I would definitely say before you read this, please do check triggers. I'm particularly drawn to Lucky as a character. They're all great. Bonnie is I mean, not great, but they're all very interesting. Bonnie is very interesting, as well as Avery, but Lucky's story I feel like is most connected to me, but then also most connected to her sister who has passed away, in my opinion. But I am really enjoying this. I'm gonna give this a break just because I want the last 60 pages. I just wanna do that maybe like later on today or tonight, and then I'll give you a review of this tomorrow. But I am gonna switch gears and start this book, which is Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. The reason I'm doing that is because this is gonna be lighter than this book, but also her books usually go really fast for me. This one's also a pretty short one, so they go pretty quick, and so that's why I wanted to pick this one up and start this today. And I just want to see how far I can get into it, because this is only like 300. It's like 322 pages, and the font isn't like it's pretty big. So I think I can probably get through a large portion of this today. So it's about 7 a.m. now. Like I said, I've been reading for about an hour. Give that book a break and move on to this one, and I'm gonna try to read for the next maybe like 3 hours until about 10 and see how I feel. But yeah, it's very foggy and very chill this morning, so I think that'll be good. Oh, by the way, today's Sunday. I don't know if I told you that, but yesterday, like I said, I didn't really vlog that much. I just started Blue Sisters. I wasn't feeling good. I'm feeling a little bit better today, but that's mainly due to drugs. So yeah, I'm gonna start this now, and I'll let you know how I feel and where I get into it. little mug of, it's not tea, it's actually Theraflu. This is a little cup that my mom got me, oh, maybe like 30 years ago. She got it made for me. Anyway, so I've got my Theraflu. I've been reading this for the last maybe half an hour. And I just want to tell you where I'm at so far. I'm on chapter 6, which is Isolde. This is dual POV, and the other, well, we're following Isolde and Joa. I would say Isolde is more of the main character in this story, even though they kind of both, they have like one chapter per. It's really, in my opinion, it's more her story than Joa's story. But we're following Isolde and Joa, and Isolde is this takes place in the 1990s, which is great. It's a vibe. Isolde is a very, very huge supermodel. Think like Naomi Campbell, or like a supermodel like Christy Brinkley, Linda Evangelista, you know, women like that. Anyway, so she is a supermodel and she lives in London. They both live in London. His name is Joa. He is in a very, very big band. I was trying to think of like the equivalent of what his band would be, and I just couldn't, because he's not punk or rock, but he's also not like a full hip-hop band from what it's like kind of described in here. But he's like a big band, like think like kind of not boy band, but think like boy band, think like NSYNC, but that's not the music that they play, but that's how big they were. So they meet each other at this party, and he is immediately interested in her and attracted to her. She is attracted to him, but is very used to getting whatever she wants, and she's very used to using her looks as currency, which she's a model, obviously she's gonna do that. So she makes it kind of hard for him to find her. She doesn't give out her like information or her number, and he, you know, is tasked to find her. He can't stop thinking about her, and she honestly also can't stop thinking about him. And then they have another meeting, and that's basically where I'm at right now. But they have another meeting, and they're pretty much both fully obsessed with each other, like right after their initial like meeting. I mean, right after their second meeting, they're like locked in. I'm liking the way this is going so far. It's really cool. Like, it's kind of like reliving 90s. There's a lot of 90s references in here, which I think are fun, so that's cool. I also really like that because they're both famous, we have here's one. We have like little like news blurbs in here talking about what's happening. So this headline is, has rock god Joa Harrigan is his last name, been struck by Cupid's arrow? And that's like right before the chapter I told you I was on. So yeah, but they have like little it's just kind of cool. I'm trying to find another one, but I don't know if oh yeah, there's King of Rock crosses paths with Runway Queen. So it's kind of cool. It's kind of like you're getting the tabloid news as you're reading about them, and then you're getting like a little bit of a tabloid blurb, which is fun. So I will let you know what I think a little bit further into this, but I'm liking it so far. It's a lot later in the day, and I wanted to just give you an update on where I'm at in Time of Your Life by Jessa Hastings. I was able to get pretty far into this book. I read most of the morning, and then when I was doing like chores around the house and all that stuff, I continued reading, or I was listening to it on audio. I was able to get to chapter 23, which is Isolde, and it's page 209. And it is going off. It is going off. What can I say that doesn't spoil it? This is typical Jessa Hastings. This is toxic. This is toxic. This is will they, won't they, for sure. This definitely has a lot of like back and forth. There's always, you know, with Jessa Hastings writing, if you haven't read her before, she has this like beautiful way of making you want to root for the character and their relationship, but then also like, no, you also don't want them to be together. It's like a whole back and forth thing with them, but also with you. That's happening in this. What's cool about this is that there's usage of the fact that they are famous, right? So there's the usage of those like tabloids and stuff. So we're getting like real time, like dirt on them while we're reading about it, which is, I think, is very, very, very smart of Jessa Hastings and really like cool to read about, and like their spin on it. There's also, obviously, there's always like drama, and there's always an ex that pops up out of nowhere. Always, of course, it's Jessa Hastings. And there's also just, these characters are very flawed, as usual. She writes really flawed characters. And they have a lot of work and learning to do about themselves before I think you can be in a successful relationship. You have to know yourself, right? And they're very young and they're very flawed. And so it's difficult for them to maintain a relationship because they haven't done any of that work yet. So I'm loving this. I don't really want to give you more than that. I'm probably going to finish this tonight, fingers crossed, and then I will move on to my last book, which is Intermezzo. Good morning. It's the next day, and I just wanted to tell you that I finished Blue Sisters by Coco Mellors, and I loved it. I thought this was very poignant, beautifully written, just very relatable, even though I wasn't going through or had not gone through anything that these siblings had gone through. I still really felt like this was just a very deeply moving novel about just three women trying to live life in the face of grief. And it was just beautiful. If you like heart-wrenching, moving, beautifully written, hard-hitting characters and a lot of character growth, you would really enjoy this book. This is very, very good, and I really enjoyed it. So I would give this a 4.5 stars. This will stick with me for a long time. It's very good. I am going to now move on to Intermezzo, and we will see where I get in this today. I'm back from work, and I've been reading Intermezzo for about like 30-45 minutes, and I have gotten to chapter 3, which is page like 55. It's page 57. I don't have a lot to say. This is 440 pages, 438 pages. Don't have a lot to say about this yet, but I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update on where I was at. I am liking it so far, but I'm, like I said, just 56 pages in, so I don't have a lot to give you yet. I'll check back in when I have more to give, probably tomorrow, because I'm going to try to read more of this tonight before I go to bed. It's the next day, and I am feeling a lot better, like a lot better, but I wanted to tell you where I was at in Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I got to chapter 7, which is page 150, and I just wanted to talk a little bit about it. So this book follows our two main characters. They're brothers. One of them is is he like a lawyer, I think, and he works in Dublin, and he is basically struggling. They're both struggling, but he's basically struggling with an addiction, and he's also currently trying to, I guess, figure out, he's dating two women, and he's trying to figure out which woman he wants to like continue seeing and which woman he wants to possibly break things off with. So he's like struggling to make that decision because he, cares about them equally. And then his brother, his name is Ivan. He is a chess player, semi-pro, I guess, semi-professional or competitive chess player, although he's kind of in a rut with chess. He has met a woman, an older woman, and he is very interested in her and interested in like trying to see if something can work, with her. She is a lot more reluctant because she is much older. She's in her late 30s. I think she's 36. And I mean, he's only 22. That's why I'm saying much older. But she is reluctant because she has, gotten a divorce before, and she doesn't really want to get into anything serious. And also, he's very, very young compared to her in her mind. And so she's hesitant. But this is very Sally Rooney. This is her latest book. I've read all of her books. They all have that same kind of, not slice of life, but very literary, very mundane in a way. She just kind of writes everyday life, but like sprinkles in like joys and heartbreaks and sadness, and how people are grieving, and how people are, because these two brothers are grieving as well. Their father has just died, so they're also just struggling with that. But it's just very everyday, mundane, just life, and how people are dealing with, the feelings that they're feeling. I really like the way she writes. This is just kind of like a slow, steady, you know what it feels like? It feels like a lazy Sunday afternoon reading this book. That's how it feels. It just feels like a slow, steady story where there's not a lot happening, but there's also a lot happening. I love her writing. I will let you know what I think when I get further into it. This is about 450 pages, so I'm about a third of the way through. So yeah. Good morning, it's the next day, and I wanted to share where I was in Intermezzo by Sally Rooney. I was able to make it to part 3, which is chapter 322, and page 322, and I think it's chapter 14. And I just wanted to give you a few more updates. So we are basically just doing a deep dive of Peter and Ivan. Peter is I think he's about 33 or something, year old brother. He's the older brother. He's the lawyer. He's the one who is kind of struggling between two women, but also is struggling between like what he wants and like versus what he needs. Just getting over like demons that, kind of make him choose the wrong path. Does that work? I think that makes sense. Ivan is the 22-year-old chess player, and he is kind of falling for an older woman who is recently separated from her husband or divorced, and he's trying to make that work, but also trying to maintain his own identity, and also trying to figure out if chess is really what he wants to do or not. I'm finding myself being a little bit more drawn to Ivan's chapters versus Peter's chapters, but they're both good. I just feel like Ivan's chapters are a bit more interesting and a bit more like realistic in terms of his growth and what he's going through. I will let you know where I get in this. I'm gonna try and get hopefully most of this done tonight, and I will hopefully come back with a review tomorrow. Okay, I'm back from work. I actually have been sitting down and reading this for the last, I would say like 2 hours, and I was able to finish it, which is great. And I'm glad I did. I did really enjoy this book. This is, oh gosh, I've read all of Sally Rooney's books, so I think this is her 4th book, maybe. My favorite still is Normal People. I love that book. I love that story. I also love the Hulu adaptation. They did a great job with that one. But anyway, so this one is probably like my second favorite out of all of her books. I was saying that I was more interested in Ivan's storyline. And I think I would say that throughout the whole book, I still was more interested, although in part 3, things kind of took a turn. And I think I was a little bit more invested in Peter's storyline, just because we're getting some reveals in part 3 that we're like, oh, wow, okay. And we're getting to like understand his point of view, where he's coming from, and like his motivations, why he's doing the things that he's doing. So I definitely would say that I kind of switched my thought process a little bit in that last part, and just understanding him a little bit more, because you really get a glimpse into why he's doing the things and why he is making the choices that he's making. Still loved it. Still loved Ivan too. I thought it was wrapped up well for both characters. I wanted a little bit more from, well, I just wanted a little bit more. I'm not going to tell you even where, but I just wanted a little bit more from some of that wrap up. I really like this. I like this a lot. I'm happy I read it, and I'm glad that I enjoyed it as much as I did, because it was one of my most anticipated reads. So I would probably give this I think I'm gonna go 4-star. I was gonna say 3.75, but I feel like it's a little bit more elevated than that. 4-star. This does have some traumas, and the traumas are really like underlying traumas, and then how they manifest in these people's lives, and that's basically what this book is about. I loved it. I thought it was great, and I just feel like Sally Rooney's writing is just very, I don't know, there's just like a way about the writing, just kind of like a slow, steady, kind of lyrical, very type of writing. Then I think you would like this book, and I think you'd like Sally Rooney's writing. Thank you so much for joining me on this kind of crazy vlog. I am feeling better, thank the heavens above, but you can still kind of hear it, sorry. But yeah, I appreciate you, and I appreciate you being here for these vlogs. And if you liked what you saw, please don't hesitate to like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.